guys, today I'm just gonna try to do a little tutorial on how I did most of this stuff in my dubstep mix video using your Novation Launchpad. If you want to see the original, you can click on the screen somewhere. I'll have it annotated. There's two of them. Yeah, but I'm gonna try my best to do a tutorial. Tutorials aren't really my thing, and I don't consider myself to be good at them, but I'm gonna try my best, and I'm sorry if I don't get around to some of the things in the video. If I don't, let me know. You can comment, send me a message, and I'll try to help everyone out as much as I can. But if you do have a question, I do ask that you look in the description first, because I'll probably have some frequently asked questions. Alright, let's get started. Okay, so first I'm just going to go over the basics, very basic for if you're a beginner. You know, if you already know a lot of the stuff, like I'm just going to go over what, you know, arming tracks, and you can't really, just muting tracks, singling tracks out, stuff like that. If you already know a lot of this stuff, you can click on the screen now. We'll just bring you to more advanced stuff. Alright, so when you open up a project, it starts you out with an audio and a MIDI track. What you want to do is you want to create 8 audio tracks. You can do this by pressing Command T, create 8, or you can just do right click, insert audio track. Alright, so now that I have 8 audio tracks, because there's 8 rows on the Launchpad, okay, now I'm going to show you, go over all the very basic things. This is your mixer. This will turn the track on and off. Let me get a track in here to help explain it better. Okay, so I just dragged in the song from one of the Ableton's folders. Okay, so mixer does. If you go over to the mixer, most of the stuff on here is right here. So this will turn on and turn off the track. You can see right here, this is my MIDI controller, Chord Mana Control 2. This is mute. So, yeah, pretty much mute. This will stop the clip. This will single it out, so if there's other clips playing, you can only hear this track. And this will, yeah, stop the clip. This is your volume. Everything's pretty basic here. And that's that, really. Alright, now I'm going to talk about when you drag in a song of any sort. First, you want to make sure, if you're doing a dubstep mix, the tempo really matters. So if you're doing dubstep, dubstep tempo is typically 140. If you're doing electro house is usually 128. You know, sometimes Ableton should automatically warp out everything so it's on beat. You know, check this. That's on beat. Sometimes it will be very offbeat. You have to mess around with these warp markers. I think that's something that you can either look up or I'll go into in a bit, maybe. But yeah, it's something a little bit more complicated and kind of time consuming, so I'm not going to go over that right now. I'm just going to focus on how I did the mix. Okay, so now I'm going to go over effects. So if you go into this little folder thing right here, it will say instruments, MIDI effects, audio effects. You want audio effects, so open that, and these are all your effects. And keep in mind that there's more, or if you click on these things, there's presets of all these effects mostly. So what I want is just beat repeat, DJ beat repeat. That's a preset for the beat repeat. I like that one. It's really good. And just a simple auto filter. You'll find yourself using an auto filter a lot. It's the most common effect in anything, really, I think. Alright, so now I have my 2 effects. I'm just duplicate this, and I'm just gonna start it at the drop. I'm assuming this is the drop because of the sound. Okay, so now I have, you know, an audio clip playing, and these buttons right here turn on and off the audio clips, or the audio effects. So turn that on. You can see, you can hear it like mashing it up. And so what I want to do is I want to make it so when I hit a button on the Launchpad, I want that to trigger this on and off. So what you want to do is you're going to want to go into user 2 mode. You can go into user 1 mode. I prefer using user 2 mode, because if you're going to if you're gonna have a MIDI track at some point and you want to play something, use this as a MIDI controller, then you would use your user 1. So again, just use user 2. You can use either one, but I prefer user 2. So now what you're gonna want to do, when I hit this button, I want to turn on the beat repeat, and I usually do. So all the effects for this row, I just do in the same row. It makes it a lot easier. So all the effects for, if I had a song here, the effects for that row would be in the second row. So do it to corresponding. It makes it a lot easier. So this is in the first row. I'm going to go over to user 2. I'm going to hit the MIDI button right here. I'm going to click on the on and off button on the beat repeat. And then I'm going to hit the button I want it to correspond to right here. And see, it shows up right there. And hit MIDI again. So now when I hit this, it will turn it on and off. So it's pretty simple. I'm just going to put another effect on here. I'm going to show you how do something a little bit more advanced. So same thing. I want this second button here to turn on the auto filter and turn it off. So MIDI, hit the on and off button, the second button, and MIDI again. So that's auto filter. This is the beat repeat. So what I want to happen though is when I turn on the auto filter, I want to be able to turn a knob on here, and I want that to modulate or automate the frequency on the auto filter. And I know a lot of you may not have another MIDI controller with knobs and faders, and there is a way to do it on the Launchpad. It is a lot less efficient and doesn't sound as good, but there is a way to do it, and I'll show you that. So if you have another MIDI controller like this if you have any sort of knobs or anything, I will show you how to do that now. If you don't, click on the screen. It will bring you to the part of the video where I show you how to do it on the Launchpad. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do it on this MIDI controller now. I'm using a Korg Nano Control 2. It has 8 faders and knobs. So what I want, I'm not going to use, normally I would use this knob because this is in the first row. I like to use it, this lines up, but this one isn't working, so I'm just going to use the second one. So right now if I turn that, it controls the panning. I don't want that to happen. I want it to control the frequency right here. So it's really simple. MIDI, you hit the frequency, you turn the knob a little bit, this will show up, and then that's it. You just hit MIDI again. Now I can control that when it's playing. And say you want, while you want to control the frequency, you also want to control the resonance. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Sorry if I'm not. What you can actually do is you hit MIDI, click on the resonance. So let me show you what the resonance is. It's just gives it a kind of a, I want it to go like that basically instead of just going back. Gives it a better sound in my opinion. So hit MIDI, hit the resonance, and you can actually just turn the same knob and it can control it both. But now see, I want it to go from bottom right to top left. Right now it's going from bottom left to top right. So if you hit MIDI again, go over to here where it's your MIDI mappings and just change the minimum to the maximum and the maximum to the minimum, if that makes any sense. If that didn't make any sense, just do what I did. Okay, so now when I turn this knob, yeah, it will go from bottom right to top left. So. Alright. So now that I showed you how to do it with that MIDI controller, I'm going to show you how to do it with the Launchpad now. If you want to skip this part of the tutorial, you can click on the screen and it will skip past this part. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how you would go about changing the frequency without using a knob and just the Launchpad. Now keep in mind, it's not going to sound as good, but there's a way to do it. So what you want to do is you want to hit MIDI, and I want to change the frequency, so it will go down like that. You want to hit MIDI, hit the frequency, and so if I want it to be the only way to do it on the Launchpad is where you drag it. So use this as kind of a fader or a knob, I guess. Being like, this is the lowest frequency and this is the highest frequency, so it will go down like that. You can do it any way you want. Like if I want it to be like that, I can do that. I'm just gonna do it down here. So what you want to do is you want to hit all the buttons at the same time you want it to correspond to. It's a little bit weird, but hit all the buttons and it will say notes E7, or it will say some notes through whatever the other note is. And so now hit MIDI again, and when I go like that, you can see it changes the frequency. It will sound a little bit more choppy, so I'll show you that now. It's a little bit difficult. It's a lot easier if you have a fader knob, but yeah, that's how you would do it if you only using the Launchpad. Alright, so now I'm going to show you what it would be like to mix in two songs. It's going into transitions and stuff. You know, really transitions and mixing songs should be your own thing. You should get creative with it. You kind of have to find your own way to do it. I'm just going to show you a very simple way of doing it. I'm just going to make it so I'm going to drag in my own song here just because I don't want any copyright. It's not a finished song or anything. Just a bit of, build up, and okay, so it looks good. So it should be perfectly quantized because it's on a 140. I know this track is 140 BPM. So I'm gonna make this song build up, and right at the build up, this song is gonna drop. So go over to session mode. Stop that. Okay. So I'm going to skip forward a little bit to the build up, and I'm just going to show you how you would go about doing something like this. Alright, so yeah, that wasn't supposed to sound good. It was just supposed to show you how you go about doing something like that. So those songs obviously don't really mix well together. So you kind of have to find your own, what songs mix well together. And yeah, just, be creative with it. So yeah, you can, if you watch my mix now, you can see a lot of the stuff I'm doing there is pretty simple. And I'm just doing my own thing, Yeah, so that's pretty much it. If you found this tutorial helpful, please let me know. If you want me to keep on making more, let me know too. You can comment, message, anything. If you like this video and subscribe, it definitely helps you guys. But yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll really try to help you guys out as much as I can. And if you want to watch the original again, you'll see that most of the stuff in that video is just stuff I showed you. It's pretty simple. You just have to get creative with it and find the right songs to mix. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching and have an awesome day.